The biblical secret to overcoming procrastination. There's something holding you back right now. It's silent. It disguises itself as harmless, but it is robbing you of the future God has planned for you. Think about it. How many times have you said, "I'll do it tomorrow," only to find that tomorrow never comes? How many doors has God opened for you, yet you stood still, watching opportunities pass by, waiting for the perfect moment? The truth is, procrastination isn't just a habit. It's an enemy of prosperity, and the Bible warns us about it. Proverbs 10:4 says, "Lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth." God's plan is for you to experience financial abundance, to grow in wisdom, and to see the fruits of your labor flourish. Yet if you don't take action, if you keep delaying what He has called you to do, you are rejecting the very riches He wants to place in your hands. It's time to break free. But before I show you how to overcome this invisible barrier, before I share the biblical secret that will shift your mindset and unlock the doors of God's prosperity over your life, do this. Subscribe to the channel right now and turn on notifications. Why? Because the truth is, most people live their entire lives without ever discovering these powerful biblical principles about success, wealth, and financial freedom. But you are different. You're here because you refuse to settle for mediocrity. You are here because you know deep down that God created you for more. And today, you're going to see how faith and action can lead you to a life of financial success, stability, and abundance. Without fear, without guilt, and without hesitation. The spiritual trap of procrastination. Now, before we dive deep into this, I need you to do something important. Your words have power. The Bible says in Proverbs 18:21, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue. When you speak, you create reality." So right now, declare victory over your life. Go to the comments and type, "I trust that God will give me victory over all obstacles." Say it with conviction. I will personally give a heart to every comment because this is not just a statement, it's a declaration of faith. Let's talk about something serious. Procrastination is not just a bad habit, it is a spiritual trap. Many people think delaying action is harmless. They assume it's just a little postponement, a small delay. But in reality, procrastination is a form of self-sabotage that keeps you stuck in financial struggles, missed opportunities, and unfulfilled potential. And the worst part, it makes you believe that you have time. Satan doesn't need to destroy you. All he needs to do is convince you to wait. The enemy knows that a person who acts on God's wisdom is a powerful force. That's why one of his greatest weapons is distraction and delay. Think about it. How many times have you felt the conviction to start something, to invest in yourself, to launch that business, to apply for that promotion? But instead, you hesitated. You got distracted. You told yourself, "I'll do it later." But later never came. The Bible warns us about this in Ecclesiastes 11:4. "Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap." This means that if you keep waiting for the perfect conditions, you will never see results. And here's the truth. Wealth does not come to the passive. Financial prosperity follows those who take action. Look at the world around you. The people who experience true financial freedom, who walk in God's abundance, are not the ones sitting on the sidelines, waiting for everything to align. They are the ones who move in faith. God does not reward hesitation. He rewards obedience and action. The enemy wants to keep you in a cycle of excuses. "I'll start my business next year. I'll get serious about my finances when I make more money. I'll tithe when I feel more stable." But God is saying, move now, start now, trust me now. In Matthew 25, Jesus tells the parable of the talents. 3 men were given money to manage. 2 of them invested and multiplied what they had, but 1 man buried his talent out of fear. When the master returned, he called this man wicked and lazy. Why? Because he had an opportunity to increase what was given to him, but instead he did nothing. This is a warning for us. If God has placed skills, resources, and opportunities in your hands, and you choose to bury them instead of using them, you are falling into the same mistake. Let me ask you this. What have you been delaying that God already told you to start? Maybe it's a business, maybe it's a financial decision, maybe it's an act of obedience, like giving, investing, or learning a new skill. Whatever it is, you need to take action now. Because here's the bottom line. God's blessings are waiting on the other side of your obedience. But there's more to this than just taking action. There's a reason why you keep procrastinating, and most people never realize it. It has to do with the way you see yourself and the way you see God's plan for your life. And that's exactly what we're going to uncover next. Faith without action is dead. There's a dangerous mindset that keeps many people trapped in financial lack and missed opportunities. It's the idea that simply believing is enough. How many times have you heard someone say, "I'm waiting on God"? They pray for a financial breakthrough, they declare prosperity, they speak about blessings, but when it comes time to act, they hesitate, they delay, they wait for a sign. But the Bible makes it clear, faith alone is not enough. Faith requires action. James 2:26 says, "As the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead." In other words, if your faith does not produce action, it is useless. Imagine a farmer standing in an empty field praying for a harvest but refusing to plant seeds. No matter how much faith he has, he will never see crops grow. Why? Because faith without action is dead. God's plan for your prosperity is not a mystery. He has already given you the wisdom, principles, and opportunities to grow your wealth, but you must take the first step. Look at the story of Peter. When Jesus told him to step out of the boat and walk on water, Peter had to move first. The miracle did not happen while he was sitting in the boat. It happened when he acted on faith. The same is true for your finances. You can pray for increase, for success in business, for opportunities, but if you don't take steps toward it, nothing will change. Some people think prosperity is about luck. They assume that the wealthy just got lucky or were blessed in some special way. But the Bible teaches that prosperity follows diligence, wisdom, and obedience. Proverbs 13:4 says, "The soul of the sluggard craves and gets nothing, but the soul of the diligent is made rich." This verse reveals a powerful truth. Desire alone does not lead to prosperity. Many people want financial freedom. Many people want to escape debt. Many people want to build wealth. But the difference between those who see results and those who don't is action. Think about it. Every successful entrepreneur, every financially stable believer, every person who has walked in God's abundance has one thing in common. They took action. They applied biblical financial principles. They built businesses. They made wise investments. They stepped out in faith. But here's the real question. Why do so many people struggle to act? Why do so many believers stay stuck even when they know what needs to be done? The answer lies in something deeper, something that affects your mindset, your emotions, and your ability to step into the financial life that God has called you to live. And that's exactly what we're going to uncover next, the law of diligence. There's a reason why some people experience financial prosperity and success, while others stay trapped in a cycle of lack and limitation. It's not about talent. It's not about luck. And it's certainly not about whether or not God wants to bless them, because God's will is always for His children to thrive. The difference is diligence. Proverbs 10:4 says, "Lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth." This is not a motivational quote. This is a spiritual law. Diligence is the key that unlocks financial growth, business success, and prosperity. It is the ability to be consistent, to put in the effort, to move forward even when things feel slow or difficult. And the truth is, most people fail not because they lack opportunity, but because they lack diligence. Look at the world around you. The wealthiest people, those who have built businesses, investments, and financial stability, are not the ones who sit around waiting. They are the ones who take action, learn, adapt, and stay consistent. But here's where most people go wrong. They think diligence means working harder, when in reality, it means working smarter. The Bible does not call us to overwork ourselves to exhaustion. It does not tell us to chase after money at the expense of our faith, our families, or our health. Instead, it teaches us to be intentional, wise, and strategic. Jesus himself said in Luke 14:28, "Suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it?" This verse is powerful because it teaches a biblical principle of planning, strategy, and diligence. Those who succeed financially are not simply lucky. They are intentional. They apply wisdom. They take action with a plan. Many people believe that money is evil, but that is not what the Bible teaches. 1 Timothy 6:10 says, "The love of money is the root of all evil, not money itself." When wealth is managed with wisdom, diligence, and faithfulness, it becomes a tool for God's kingdom, for helping others, and for creating opportunities. So let me ask you this. What areas of your life and finances are suffering because of a lack of diligence? Have you been consistent with your financial goals? Have you been intentional about learning how to build wealth? Have you been faithful in stewarding what God has already given you? Because here's the truth, God blesses diligence, not laziness. And if this message is speaking to you, if you're ready to take control of your finances with biblical wisdom, hit the like button right now. Why? Because every time you engage, this message reaches more people who need to hear it. And trust me, there are millions of believers struggling with procrastination, lack, and financial frustration simply because they've never been taught these principles. But here's where things get even deeper. Because diligence alone is not enough. There is one final step that most people never take. And this is where everything changes. And that's exactly what we're going to uncover next. How to overcome procrastination with biblical principles. By now, you understand that procrastination is not just a minor habit, it's a spiritual and financial enemy. You've seen how faith without action is dead, and how diligence is the key that unlocks God's prosperity in your life. But here's the challenge. Knowing these truths is not enough. You need to break free from the patterns that keep you stuck. So how do you overcome procrastination for good? The answer is simple. You apply the principles that God has already given you. 1. Write the vision and make it clear. Habakkuk 2.2 says, "Write the vision and make it plain on tablets, that he may run who reads it." One of the biggest reasons people procrastinate is lack of clarity. If you don't have a clear vision for your finances, your business, or your future, you will keep delaying action because you don't know where to start. This is why successful people write down their goals, create a plan, and set specific targets. They know exactly what they are working toward, which gives them the motivation to keep moving forward. So ask yourself, do you have a clear financial plan? Have you written down your vision for your wealth, your business, and your future? If not, this is your first step. Write it down, make it clear, and then run toward it. 2. Be faithful in the small things. Luke 16:10 teaches us, "Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much." This is one of the most overlooked principles in financial growth and success. Many people say, "I'll start managing my money better when I have more." But that's not how God works. God blesses those who are faithful with what they already have. If you can't manage $100 wisely, why would God give you 10,000? If you don't take action on a small opportunity, why would He trust you with a bigger one? If you're not diligent in your current business, why would He expand it? The key to breaking free from procrastination is to start where you are. No excuses, no waiting for the perfect time. The perfect time is now. 3. Take action, even when you don't feel ready. Ephesians 5:15-16 says, "Be very careful then how you live, not as unwise but as wise, making the most of every opportunity, because the days are evil." This verse is clear. Opportunities do not last forever. The people who succeed in life and in finances are those who take action even when they don't feel fully ready. Think about the great leaders of the Bible. Moses didn't feel ready to lead Israel, but he obeyed. David didn't wait to be a king before he fought Goliath. He took action immediately. Peter didn't wait for the storm to stop before walking on water. He stepped out in faith. The same principle applies to your finances. If you keep waiting for the right time to start a business, to invest, or to manage your money wisely, you will stay stuck. So let me ask you, what action have you been delaying? What step do you know God has called you to take? Because the truth is, procrastination will keep you from God's blessings. But the moment you start moving, the moment you decide to act, God will meet you there. Now, there is one final step that most people overlook when it comes to overcoming procrastination. And this step, it's the most powerful of all. It's the one thing that can break the cycle permanently and lead you into a life of financial breakthrough and prosperity. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about next. Overcoming the mental barriers that keep you stuck at this point. You know that procrastination is a thief. It steals time. It steals opportunities. It even steals God's blessings from those who allow themselves to stay stuck in inaction. But let's be honest, knowing that you need to act and actually doing it are two different things. Why is it that some people hear these biblical principles, feel inspired for a moment, but then return to the same old habits? Because procrastination isn't just about time management, it's about your mindset. Many people don't act because they don't believe they're ready. They convince themselves that they need more information, more preparation, or more signs from God before taking a step forward. But the truth is, this is a mental stronghold designed to keep you from your destiny. 1. The perfectionism trap. Some people delay taking action because they believe they need to do things perfectly or have all the answers before starting. But look at what Ecclesiastes 11:4 says, "Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap." This verse is clear. If you wait for perfect conditions, you will never move. Think about the people in the Bible who accomplished great things. Noah didn't wait for clear skies before building the ark. David didn't wait to become a king before stepping into battle. Moses didn't wait to have public speaking skills before answering God's call. They moved in faith, not in perfection. If God has placed something in your heart, a business idea, a financial goal, a vision for your future, you must act before you feel ready. Because if you wait for perfection, you will be waiting forever. 2. Fear of failure and the lies of the enemy. Many people don't take action because they are afraid to fail. They fear losing money. They fear making the wrong decision. They fear what others might think. But here's what you need to understand. Fear is the enemy's weapon. Fear whispers lies like, "You're not capable. You're not ready. What if you fail? What if people laugh at you?" But God has never called anyone to live in fear. 2 Timothy 1:7 tells us, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind." Fear will keep you broke. Fear will keep you stagnant. Fear will keep you from stepping into the wealth and success that God has for you. But here's something most people never realize. Failure is part of the journey. The wealthiest, most successful people in the world have failed more times than most people have tried. The difference? They didn't stop. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. If you fall 7 times, get up 8, because each time you rise, you gain wisdom, experience, and resilience. And God can use every failure to prepare you for something greater. 3. Stop thinking and start moving. Most people don't lack knowledge. They don't lack resources. They lack execution. They spend months researching, planning, and preparing, but never take the first step. And in that time, opportunities pass by. How many doors has God already opened for you, but you hesitated? Maybe it was a business opportunity, but you were afraid to invest. Maybe it was a financial decision, but you kept waiting for a safer time. Maybe it was an idea, but you convinced yourself that someone else was better qualified. And while you were thinking about it, someone else acted. God gives opportunities, but He doesn't force you to take them. The enemy wants you to overthink, delay, hesitate, and stay stuck. But God is calling you to move, because when you step out in faith, something incredible happens. God meets you there. And this brings us to the final, most important piece of the puzzle. Because while action is crucial, there is one thing that can completely transform your ability to break free from procrastination once and for all. And it has nothing to do with your strength. It has everything to do with God's power. Prayer. Your greatest weapon against procrastination. You've now seen how procrastination is not just a bad habit. It's a spiritual stronghold that keeps people from stepping into God's blessings, financial prosperity, and business success. You've learned the power of diligence, the importance of faith-driven action, and the biblical principles that lead to breakthrough. But now, we arrive at the most critical step, one that many people overlook: prayer. Why? Because no matter how much knowledge you have, you cannot break free from the chains of procrastination without God's power. Think about it. If willpower alone was enough, wouldn't everyone already be successful? Wouldn't people already be walking in abundance, free from financial struggle? But the Bible tells us in Zechariah 4:6, "Not by might nor by power, but by my Spirit, says the Lord Almighty." Procrastination isn't just about laziness or lack of discipline. It's about spiritual warfare. It's about the enemy trying to distract you, delay you, and keep you from fulfilling your purpose. But here's the good news. You don't have to fight this battle alone. 1. Ask God for strength and diligence. The enemy wants you to stay weak, tired, and unmotivated, but God is the source of all strength. Isaiah 40:31 says, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." When you feel like putting things off, pray. Ask God for renewed energy, focus, and determination. He will equip you to take action. 2. Pray for divine wisdom in your finances and business. Procrastination often happens because people don't know what to do next. They feel stuck, they feel lost. But James 1:5 tells us, "If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all liberally and without reproach, and it will be given to him." If you're facing financial decisions, business choices, or career moves, pray for wisdom. God will guide you, open doors, and lead you toward prosperity and success. 3. Break the spirit of fear through prayer. Many people procrastinate because of fear. Fear of failure, fear of making the wrong decision, fear of stepping out into something new. But 2 Timothy 1:7 tells us, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind." If fear is holding you back from taking action in your finances, your career, or your personal growth, pray against it. Declare that you are moving in faith, not fear. 4. Commit your plans to the Lord. Proverbs 16:3 says, "Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans." This means that every financial decision, every business idea, and every step you take toward your success should be covered in prayer. When you submit your plans to God, He aligns them with His will and blesses the work of your hands. Now, if this message has spoken to you, I want you to do something important. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. There are millions of people struggling with procrastination, delaying their financial breakthroughs, and missing out on what God has for them simply because they don't understand these principles. Be the one who helps them see the truth. And here's the thing, we're not done yet. There's one final piece to this that ties everything together, and it's the part that will challenge you the most. If you thought today's message was powerful, you cannot afford to miss what's coming next. Let me ask you a serious question. If you don't change anything today, where will your life be in 1 year? Will you still be waiting for the right time? Still hoping for financial freedom but never taking action? Still praying for prosperity while ignoring the principles God has already given you? Or will you finally break free? Here's the truth. Nothing changes until you decide to change. God has already given you the tools, the wisdom, and the opportunities. He has already placed within you everything you need to build a life of abundance, financial stability, and business success. But He won't move unless you do. Faith requires action. Diligence brings prosperity. And procrastination? It will steal your future if you let it. So today, I challenge you, take the first step. Stop waiting. Stop overthinking. Do something. Now, before you go, do 2 important things. 1, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications, because we are going even deeper into these biblical wealth principles, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. 2, watch the next video on the screen right now. It will show you how to build wealth and financial security using God's principles. If you found today's message valuable, that video will take you even further. And if this message has impacted you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. You never know whose life you might change with this one simple action. Remember, God's blessings are waiting, but will you step into them? The choice is you.